where we've got a panel of experts, think tanks, professors on the bench. I feel so dumb today, but it's okay. As long as there's some professors who know what they're talking about. Professor Macharia Munene right next to me, political analyst. Mombi Ngaro, former MP for Iala. And on the far end, Professor Peter Kagwanja. Good to see you all. Thanks so much. You saw that story right there. Is Deputy President Gachagua under siege, Prof? Is he under siege?
He feels it. He is desperate.
Why?
Well, from the day he was sworn in as Deputy President, he appeared to be on a mission to be declared the leader of the mountain. And he did everything and anything possible to be declared that. And it has been very elusive to him. And as things were going wrong, he appeared to be desperate. The meeting that was held the other day in Limuru was a really jolting thing. And the reason the meeting took place was because something is not right in the country. Forget about the people who supposedly organized it. Something is not right.
In the country?
In the country.
Hold that thought. Mombi, do you agree?
Yeah, he looked for it, but it has been happening to all those before him. He should have been more careful, but I think he rushed. And so it's just coming in too early.
Like, what is it? The rooster's coming home to, what is it? Chicken's coming home to roost? Is that what it is?
Too early.
Yeah, I was going to ask that, Prof. It was, what, 16 months after the elections? I mean, how can there be animosity so soon? 2027 is so far.
Because the purpose for which he was appointed is over. Yeah, because you've done your rounds. We needed to knock off Uhuru Kenyatta. He was the man to do the job. He knocked him down. Very few seats in Mount Kenya region for Jubilee. Jubilee is now a horror party because it used to have 170 plus seats. Today it has no more than 28, and all those 28 are split through the middle. So to all intents and purposes, he did a clean job of finishing Uhuru Kenyatta. And now, what is his purpose? It's the time of peace. So you bring peacemakers. And in the process, then the warriors have to exit.
Prof, has he outlived his use already? Is that what you guys are saying?
It looks it. Actually, a number of people warned him, or tried to warn him, that you're not going to last this thing. And of course, there was that talk. Raila and Ruto are going to get together. And he refused to listen. He says, these things are going to happen. And that's when he kept on saying, what? I'll put some traps around the State House, so nothing can happen. Then what happened to the traps? so I think, whether rightly or wrongly, he's been accused of not listening. And that's the bane of a lot of politicians.
They don't listen.
They don't listen.
Mombi, if you were Uhuru Kenyatta today and you heard and you saw that package, what would you reach out? Would you let him reach out to you? After all, after Northlands, after the sheep were stolen, after the trees were cut and burnt, would you agree?
Anything can happen in politics. Oh, yes, it can happen. You remember the story very well. President Uhuru Kenyatta and Honorable Raila Odinga.
Yeah. You
remember the Muguruki bit? Yeah. Behind the curtains, anything can happen. So it is in order, in quotes, for him to extend, an olive branch to the president, but probably he's not doing it the right way. There are some things that are done behind the curtains before he comes to the fold.
Yeah.
If I were Uhuru Kenyatta, I would not trust him. That's me, thank God I'm not him. I wouldn't trust him because he rushed so early to dismantle and burn the bridges without probably having considered, that we have got 5 years to go, and the unity of Mount Kenya is important, because Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta is still Mount Kenya. I come from his county, Kiambu. And therefore, he has miscalculated. He's not the kind of a person, as far as I'm concerned, who you invite in a public, from a public market. I think it is disrespectful, forgive my language. If he meant to look for Uhuru Kenyatta, there are other diplomatic avenues. Extend to people who probably would reach out at him and sit behind the curtains. And let the two of them, or probably Uhuru, brings him out and say, we've talked and we are friends, and you know. But inviting him from the streets, I doubt.
Professor Kagonje, do you agree?
Yeah, I think there's something called political maturity. And it comes from experience. If you are not experienced, you are not experienced. It doesn't matter how many times you call a donkey a horse, it will always be a donkey. Because that's what it is. Experience is the in thing. And I think what we're trying to say is the Deputy President needed some time to quietly grow into the position he has. Because, as you know, he was a one-term MP. He has never held a position in the national space from the PS upwards, which is the essence of government.
Right.
No mayor like her or governor. So he has talent, but it needed to be paired up with experience. And that meant fighting very little, talking to people more, moving to people's houses to have a cup of tea and understand how Kenyans work. But now, when you move straight into the streets and now start saying, you know, I'm the kingpin of Mount Kenya, and, you know, our region is made of people like me and others who have egos. So we want to choose. We don't want somebody to be chosen for us. And there is always that resistance. So from that perspective, what we are saying is that some of the things that are happening should not be happening. And there is time to learn, and there is time to assert yourself.
Yeah.
I don't think this is the time to assert yourself. It is the time to learn.
Professor Peter Kagonje, Mumbi Ngaru, and Professor Macharia Munene, I want to take a break, come back, talk some more, because there's so much. Limuru 3. What did it achieve? Who is the biggest winner out of that? Who is the biggest loser? What happens going forward? Where is Mount Kenya? Why is it rumbling so early? We want to talk more about that in a little short while. Stay tuned for that, folks. So much more ahead. In fact, we're going to go right now to Washington, D.C.